So, have you ever felt that quiet kind of erosion where maybe the chase for professional success or even just, networking starts thinning out your really deep personal connections?
Oh, definitely. It's a modern dilemma, isn't it? This subtle shift.
Yeah, where those real bonds, they start feeling a bit distant and suddenly you have this huge network, but maybe it feels a little, I don't know, shallow.
Exactly. A mile wide and an inch deep sometimes.
Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a really poignant personal story. It illustrates exactly this, how those genuine connections can, well, wither.
But also, and this is the hopeful part, how they can be consciously rebuilt.
Right. Our source is this narrative, really a detailed map of one person's journey through this whole challenge.
A very relatable map, I think.
Okay, so let's dive in. We meet Elara, who's like a rising star in her field. And then there's Leo, her best friend since, well, forever.
Lifelong friends, the kind you think are unshakable.
Exactly. But the decay, it didn't start with a bang. It was subtle. Really subtle.
How so?
Like a single missed call, then maybe a text that goes unanswered for a day, then two. And pretty soon, those easy coffee catch-ups, they become distant memories.
Ah, the slow fade.
Yeah. And the source points to this concept, Alara's available social time, getting eaten up by her growing network size. All these professional contacts demanding attention.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. So, more work connections mean less time for actual friends.
Pretty much. It creates this downward spiral. The source calls it a neglect and conflict loop. Success demands more time, leaving less for Leo.
Which then leads to guilt, I imagine.
Totally. Guilt, then this sort of subconscious avoidance because facing it is uncomfortable, which just leads to more neglect.
Oof, it's painful.
It is. The narrative describes it like the sturdy oak of their friendship was just slowly, imperceptibly dying. It's quite sad, actually.
It absolutely is. And what's really telling is how this quiet erosion builds into a full-blown crisis.
Right, the tipping point.
Exactly. It hits on Alara's birthday. Her phone's blowing up, dozens of messages, right? Professional well wishes, people she barely knows.
Surface level stuff.
Right. But the one message she's actually looking for, it's not there. Leo, who hadn't missed her birthday in 20 years, is silent.
Wow. 20 years.
Yeah. And that silence, for Elara, it wasn't just silence. The source says it felt like a gaping wound.
I can imagine. That absence speaks volumes.
It really does. And that night, she feels this deep, hollow ache. It's this stark realization she traded something real, genuine connection for what felt like a mirage.
All those contacts suddenly feel pretty meaningless, huh?
Fragile is the word the source uses. Her huge network felt incredibly fragile. This was her rock bottom, her moment of crisis, the point where the old way just wasn't working anymore.
Yeah, something had to change.
And, well, this raises an important question, maybe for you listening. Does that kind of trade-off, that feeling of swapping depths for breadth, does that resonate with your own life at all?
That's a heavy question. So, okay, she hits this painful low. How? How does someone even start to rebuild after that level of neglect?
Well, what's interesting is the source makes it clear it wasn't some sudden grand gesture.
No big dramatic movie moment.
No, not really. It was described as a series of small, deliberate actions, really intentional steps.
Okay, like what?
It began with just one email, an honest one, to Leo. The subject line was simply, "I'm sorry."
Wow. That takes courage.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting it out there.
It does. And Leo's reply, just as simple, but so powerful. "I miss you."
Oh, man. That hits hard. There's so much history and grace in that simple exchange.
Absolutely. And from there, Elara starts this active re-engagement. Like she schedules shared activities.
Thinking back to basics.
Kind of. Like a hike on a trail they used to love, creating new memories, but rooted in that old comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And crucially, she makes a point to talk less about work.
Shifting the focus.
Yes. More about her vulnerabilities, her real life, and really listening to Leo, not just, waiting for her turn to talk about her job again.
That's a big shift. Actually listening.
It is. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see that mutual support loop starting to turn again, that give and take.
The emotional support, the care, it starts flowing back.
Exactly. The friendship strength starts rebuilding, slowly. And Elara learns something vital, almost counterintuitive.
What's that?
She starts pruning her professional network.
Really? Cutting back on the contact.
Yeah. Realizing that true depth sometimes means letting go of the shallower connections. Making space for what really matters. It's an inverse truth, isn't it? Less networking can actually lead to more genuine connection.
That's profound. It goes against so much advice we hear.
It does. And the key takeaway from her whole journey is this. Relationships aren't static things you acquire. They're not artifacts, living systems. They need tending, feeding, protecting. Otherwise, like anything alive, they'll inevitably wither.
So thinking about all this, Elara's story, from that deep neglect to actually deliberately re-engaging, it really shows the power of intentional action, doesn't it?
Immense power. It shows that it's possible to rebuild, but it takes conscious effort, consistent nourishment.
Yeah. Recognizing our relationships need that active care, just like a garden or any living thing.
Precisely.
Which leads us to a final thought. There's something for you to maybe mull over. What living systems in your own life, maybe friendships, family ties, even your relationship with yourself, might need a bit more tending right now.
A bit more feeding or maybe some protecting before they start to wither away.